Eli, live in the studio to solve your relationship problems. Today, we are unfortunately having to talk about one of those sad moments in time when you decide the relationship is over, divorce is imminent.
We're taking phone calls right now, 276-2118. Dr. Eli's in the house, and we're talking about divorce, as Tara said.
Yeah, or what do you do? How do you cope after divorce happens? Because, you know, with that statistic, what it is, guys, 1 in every 2 almost relationships ending in divorce. You know, you have to prepare, and you need to know that, you know, your life doesn't end just because you get a divorce. And a lot of people, when all their eggs are in the marriage basket, and we're talking about committed relationships, so not just marriages. I mean, you know, if you're in a committed relationship but you're not married, you've invested years. The loss is similar than if you would be officially married. So I always want to say that marriage and family therapists deal with people in committed relationships, not just married people. That name of our profession is really a misnomer. It should really be couple and family therapy. But what do you do when a relationship is ending? How do you move on?
Right.
Susan Sarandon, a perfect example. How long were she and Tim a couple?
Right.
25 years or something?
2 decades.
Never got married.
Right.
But boy, were they ever the rock solid Hollywood couple, and then who knows what happened.
Right.
Yep.
The first thing you got to do, you have to talk about what you're feeling. You can't go internal, shut down. A lot of people, that's a natural tendency because there's a great emotional roller coaster. There's shame, there's disappointment, but you need to talk about how you're feeling, and that entails, you know, sometimes the negative emotions, but also there's a sense of relief for a lot of people that being able to get out of something that wasn't a good fit.
And that's not necessarily with your ex. That could be with a therapist or a counselor, a pastor, something like that?
Probably not your ex, because even in these relationships where couples navigate it pretty well, that's not somewhere you can go with your ex, especially so quickly.
Exactly.
But it is a loss. It is a loss of a shared future. It is a loss of dreams. So even in the best situations, on the family life cycle, you know, it's normative to kind of court, to get married, to start your family. Nobody ever gets married with the idea they're going to get a divorce.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, sometimes it really bothers me. People talk about these starter marriages like it's a joke. You know, relationship is something you should be taken seriously. So the idea that you are going to grieve the loss. Divorce comes in many forms. There's the emotional divorce, which sometimes starts well before you actually legally get divorced. And there is the financial divorce, all of these things. But the idea that you need to be able to talk to people. And your support network is huge. And sometimes when you put all of your eggs in the relationship basket, you get out of balance. You've kind of lost connection with these other people in your life, whether it be friends, co-workers, other family members. Highlighting those people, Tara and Becca, are really important.
Absolutely.
One of your tips that was just up, remind yourself that you still have a future.
Yeah.
That's the
huge.
toughest part.
Yeah,
Very positive.
Yes, if you have this idea that all of your soul happiness rises and falls with one person, I mean, it is tempting to think that, but you have a future. So how you bounce back, how you built up these networks, these resilient factors, it's really important. So you have to know that, even though it's normal to feel that way. It is normal to feel like everything is coming to an end, everything you've invested all this time and energy to, you know, your life will be different. Like I said,
hard to see the light.
Yeah.
At the end of the tunnel, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you know, another thing is cultivating new friendships, new interests that are different from what you experienced with your former partner.
Big.
Couples are just sometimes death to single people, because once you've gotten apart from somebody, all of your friends are couples, and then you don't have anywhere to go and anything to do.
Exactly. So another common question people come to marriage and family therapists is, okay, where do I find this network? What do I do? And you go to places and things you like. Many people reach out to, if they're religious, to their church, networks like that. Other people pick a hobby or a passion. And where do you find people? You find people that do similar things that you like to do. So whether it be a book club, I have a client that I work with that is a lot of hiking outdoors, and they met their new network through a hiking club.
Heine Brothers Coffee.
Yeah, you like going.
Coffee shops are the new dating spots.
Sure. You like going and having coffee. You're going to find other, maybe you have reading the paper, reading a book. You're going to find other like-minded people. Same thing. What we talked about. I hear that cat in the background. Jeez. You hear people talk about online dating, which we talked about on the show a couple weeks ago. Excellent place to kind of, again, test out the waters. And I always tell people, it's like, when you get divorced, even if a relationship, it's never all one person's fault. So if you're going to get into another relationship, whether it be friendship or romantic relationship, you got to understand your part in what went wrong in the last one. And it's a systemic thing. That's what we view as marriage and family therapists. It's not all one person's fault. So if you don't know what you brought your baggage or what caused that last relationship to fail, you're probably not ready to jump into another. So a lot of people just take the time in a supportive network of friends, people that can give them honest feedback.
Yeah.
They take the time and they learn, okay, this is what went wrong with me. This is what I need to know before I jump into another one.
Yeah, that ownership of feelings and ownership of your share of the responsibility is probably one of the toughest things to take on as
Very
an individual.
True. You mentioned at the Open, too, that women kind of naturally know how to reach out to these support networks. Men, they go internal more. They shut down. So it's like I have a lot of men that have these normal emotional roller coasters we said to, they don't know how to reach out for help. So finding a marriage and family therapist, somebody that can help you with your relationship, an impartial third party is sometimes very important. And you can do that. Again, you can go to my website, check out resources. You can go to www.therapistlocator.net. That's going to give you a list of therapists, marriage and family therapists in your area that are going to be able to help you.
Real quick question. Can we get to a quick mailbag, do you think? I've recently relocated to Louisville after a divorce. I need to make some new friends. This is a good question, Eli. I need to make some new friends, but what are the drawbacks to attending a divorce support group? This is from Carol.
Carol, thank you for your question. We like to focus on strength and health in these segments, but I guess if you're thinking of drawbacks, you want to know the kind of context of the support group, because some you go to, a tendency is, especially if they're single-sex support groups, all male, all female, they tend to bash the opposite sex. So if you were a man, you wouldn't want to go to a woman-hating support group, or if you were a woman, you wouldn't want to go to a male-bashing support group. We believe relationships are good, they're foundational. You can be in a healthy relationship again, even if you weren't the first time. So I'd say any support group should hit on all those tips we just gave you, but they shouldn't bash the opposite sex. That's not good.
Go to a co-ed divorce support group.
Go to a co-ed, very good. Go to co-ed, ask other members what that group was like. Sit in on one and you should get a flavor for it. Thanks, Carol.
Very good. Thank you, Carol. And you'll have the opportunity to write more letters to Dr. Eli. You can go to his website, elikaram.com, for more information, or dial 749-8825. Talk to Dr. Eli, and you'll come back again next week with more issues.
We will be back.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Whenever
so
he comes in, I ask him about my personal issues.
There you go. It's perfect to have a therapist in the house. We love Dr. Eli. We have wonderful folks from Faithful Companions coming up. We also have some delicious soup from Finbar Kinsella, new chef at St. Joseph's Children's Home.